students. So last lecture we have seen the Bezier curve with its properties along with the equation for Bezier curve we have seen, and the example how to draw a Bezier curve if we are given some position vectors or some control points are given. So for 4 control points we have seen the how to draw the Bezier curve with 4 control points. Now in this lecture we are going to see the next point, that is B-spline curve. So B-spline curve, before start with the properties of B-spline curve, we are going to see what are the drawbacks of Bezier curve. So Bezier curve produced by Bernstein basis function has limited flexibility. First, the number of specified polygon vertices fixes the degree of the resulting polygon which defines the curve. Means in Bezier curve, if there are, for example, 5 control points, then the polynomial degree of that curve is always 4. If there are 4 control points, then its degree is always 3. So the control point decide the polynomial degree. That is the first limitation of Bezier curve. The second limiting characteristic is that the value of blending function is non-zero for all parameter values over the entire curve. Means what? The Bezier curve provides global control over the entire curve. If we change one control point, it changes the shape of the curve. For example, suppose we consider these are the 5 control points and we draw a curve, Bezier curve with these 5 control points. If we change this control point from here, if we change it here, then it changes the entire shape of the curve. That is the drawback of Bezier curve, and that's why it is known as global control. And that drawback is avoided or minimized in B-spline curve. So B-spline basis contains the Bernstein function as the special case. It has non-global. The B-spline curve basis is non-global. How it is? We are going to see with properties. So first we are going to see the properties of B-spline curve. B-spline curve is an approximation curve. So already I have told it in the Bezier curve. The Bezier curve is also a approximation curve. Means if there are 4 control points, then it is not necessary that the curve passes through all control points, but it passes through the first and last control point. That is compulsory. The B-spline curve is also an approximation curve. B-spline curve is made up of n plus 1 control points and the order of curve is k. So here the order is not depend upon the control point, it is another value k. So what is this k? This k is greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to n plus 1. Means if we consider there is n is equal to 6, then n is equal to 6 means there are 7 control points for this B-spline curve. So k is greater than or equal to 2 and less than or equal to this 7. And this k, it gives us polynomial of degree k minus 1. Means if k is equal to 3, then the degree is x square. If k is equal to 4, then degree is x raised to 3. Means the degree, polynomial degree, it depends upon the value of k. It has n minus k plus 2 segments. Means for example, if let n is equal to 6 and k is equal to 3, then there are 7 control points, as already I have told that. Then the number of segments in this B-spline curve is 6 minus 3 plus 2, that is 5 segments. And what is that? We are going to see in detail with diagram after this. Next, B-spline curve, the next property, it is used to draw open and closed curve. So we can draw the open curve like this, or we can draw open curve, or we can draw the closed curve. So it is used for both purpose. It has local control over the shape of the curve. So that is the basic property of B-spline curve. In Bezier curve there is a global control. Means if we change a single point in control point, then it change the entire shape of the curve. But here it is not happens. Here it has local control over the shape of the curve. Means for example, if we consider that there are 7 control points in this way. So this is P0, P1, this is P2, P3, P4, P5 and this is P6. Okay, then the control points we draw in this way. And I draw a simple curve, suppose like this. Now in this there are 7 control points, P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 and P6. Now this curve goes through this first and last control point. Now if I change this P1 control point, from here to here, then what happens? Instead of changing the entire shape of the curve, only related to that segment the curve is changed. That is known as local control over the shape of the curve. So B-spline curve allows us to change the number of control points without changing the degree of polynomial. So why? Because the degree of polynomial in B-spline curve is independent of the control point. It only depends on the value of k. So here we can minimize any one of these control points. Suppose we can minimize this one, or we can increase one of the another control point. That is possible here in B-spline curve. Next, the curve generally follows the shape of the defining polygon. So here it is shown, means the curve is contained within the convex hull of the defining polygon. If we consider this is the convex hull P1, P2, P3, P4, then shape is always within the convex hull of this polygon. The sum of B-spline curve or basis function for parameter value is always 1. That we have seen in the Bezier curve also with one example. Now next we are going to see the equation for B-spline curve. Let Pt is the position vector along the curve as a function of parameter t. Then the B-spline curve is given by Pt is equal to summation of I is equal to 1 to n plus 1. So n plus 1 is a number of control points. Bi, what is Bi? Bi is the position vector of the n plus 1 defining polygon vertices, and Nik are the normalized B-spline basis function, or we call it as a blending function. So this t is ranges from t min to t max. And what is this t max and t max? That also we are going to see. These are the range of parameters. And k is, as already we have seen, that k is greater than or equal to 2, less than or equal to n plus 1. Then the function Nik, bending function, how we define? It has two cases. The first case is that when k is equal to 1. So when k is equal to 1, Ni1t is equal to 1, where t is ranges from xi to xi plus 1. So xi, what is this xi? Xi is the not vector. Xi is the element of not vector. What is not vector? Joining point of two segments. So already I have told that it is divided into segments. So it is the not vector is nothing but the joining point of that segment, that we are going to see in the next slide. So if k is equal to 1 and the value of t is ranges from xi to xi plus 1, then it is equal to 1, otherwise it is 0. And for another cases other than k is greater than 1, we need to calculate Nik for t with this function, where xi and the value of t is required. Now what is this xi? Now see here the segments. Before xi we see the segments. In this example already I have drawn the same diagram here. Before the previous slide, the same is here. So here we consider that there are 7 control points, P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 and P6. And there are 7 control points, so n is equal to 6. So k, and consider k is equal to 3, or so degree, polynomial degree is 2. Now how many number of segments? N minus k plus 2. So 5 segments are there. So it is shown here Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5. Now this first segments, it is start from T0 up to T1. So Q1, segment Q1, it is controlled by 3 control points P0, P1, P2, where T0 is equal to 0 and T1 is equal to 1. While segment Q2 is controlled by 3 control points P1, P2 and P3, start with T1 is equal to 1, T2 is equal to 2. Q3 is the segment which is controlled by P2, P3, P2, P3 and P4. Okay, and start with T2 is equal to 2 and T3 is equal to 3. In this way, 5 different segments are here for this simple curve, and these are controlled by every time 3 control points. Now the knot vector xi. Xi, what is the range of this xi? What is the value of I? So these are ranges from 0 to n plus k, or in some cases, so I is ranges from 0 to n plus k, or we can say it is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to n plus k, it is less than or equal to n plus k plus 1. In some cases it is written as 0 to n plus k, while in some cases it is written as 1 to n plus k plus 1. So some examples are shown here. Internal knot values are evenly spaced using simple integer increments, means no fraction. These are like this. If k is equal to 2 and n is equal to 4, then how many I values are there, xi values are there? These 4 plus these 2, 6 plus 1. So total 1 to 7 values are there. Total 7 values. If k is equal to 3, there are 8 values. If k is equal to 2, there are 9 values. So how to calculate that? We are going to see it with example. Suppose we consider it with the fraction. So in this way, these are evenly spaced. Now while calculating this uniform knot vector, there are 3 cases. This xi is equal to 0 if I is less than k. Xi is equal to I minus k if this condition is satisfied, I is greater than k plus 1 and less than or equal to n plus 1. And xi is equal to n minus k plus 2 if I is greater than plus 2 and less than or equal to n minus k plus 1. So using these 3 conditions, we can calculate the value of these knot vectors xi. Now see it with this example. So here we are going to find out the values. Considering 4 means n is equal to 3. Third order means k is equal to 3. Basis function we are going to see. Now see here, formally these 3 conditions we are going to check. Now start with how many xi values are there. Here again n is equal to value 3. So 4 plus 3, total 7 knot vectors are there. Now these 7 knot vectors, we start with x1. Now x1 means I is equal to 1. So what is the value of k? K is equal to 3. K is equal to 3 means I is less than k, and therefore x1 is equal to 0. Now we consider x2 means I is equal to 2, which is less than 3. So x2 is equal to 0. x3, I is equal to 3, which is equal to n less than or equal to 3. So it is equal to 0. Now the next one, x4. Now x4, it is greater than k, and that's why the value of x4 is I minus k. What is I here? I is equal to 4, k is equal to 3. So 4 minus 3, it is equal to 1. So it generates the value 1. Similarly, we calculate x5, x6, x7. And according to this, these are the values of knot vector 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, using these 3 conditions, 1, 2, 3 conditions, we can calculate the value of knot vector. Now using these knot vector values, we can generate the basis or calculate the basis function or blending function using equation 2 and 3. So for k is equal to 1, we use this equation. For k is greater than 1, we use this equation. Now see, this equation is a lengthy equation, or when we calculate it with the values, it requires so much time. So in exam it is not expected that you have to write or solve these entire values of n. It is not possible, or it requires too much time. So you have to find out the knot values and write the blending function. It is sufficient for this B-spline curve. Now these values are calculated here by using these two equations. These values are calculated for n I k. If k is equal to 1, it is either 1 or 0. If k is greater than 1, then we need to use the third equation. And according to that, these values are calculated for this parameter range. Now, how this parameter range is calculated? This is calculated with this equation. Sorry. T is greater than or equal to 0, less than or equal to n minus k plus 2. So according to this, here the parameter range is T is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 2. So for these parameter values, we calculate this value, this one and for this one. And after calculating these values, the final result will be like this. So that is about the B-spline curve. So always remember that the major difference between Bezier curve and B-spline curve is that Bezier curve has a global control over the shape of the curve, while B-spline curve has local control over the shape of the curve. Second major difference is that the B-spline curve, in Bezier curve, the polynomial degree is depends upon the number of control point, where in B-spline curve the polynomial degree is not depends upon the control point, it depends upon the value of k. So that are the major differences. You can also identify the remaining differences and similarities between the Bezier curve and B-spline curve. So thank you students.